Let's turn that down. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Well, 2024. Hi, Danny. Happy Rising. Good to see you. Hi, F. Kitty. Pamela Jean. Who else have we got? This is that was three. The High Empress channel. The High Empath channel. Okay. Turamir. Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. I haven't seen you for a while, Danny, either. Hey, Andy. Good to see you. Susie Q. Welcome to 2024, everyone. Well, we've got an exciting start to the year. We'll have to wait for Scott. Busy. There he is. All right, we can get started then. Let's get started. 2024. Similar start to 2023. So we'll take a look at this image here for a bit. I was just watching Roger from Mud Fossil University. Love you too, Scotty. Good to see y'all. I'm excited. We've got great news on the dragon genital front. So Libya is a labia. We found the structures like the what is it called? Elasto branch? Elasto branch? They're kind of like elasto branches. Or like the amphibians, I'm not sure. They're kind of morphs between them. But I was over on Roger's channel watching his latest video. And he's claimed to the Red Sea being a vagina. So let me, where are we here? Got a lot of stuff here today. Let's go with this first. This is exciting. Let's see if we can find the structures that we find over in Libya, and other places. So the Red Sea apparently is a big vagina. So let's take a look at this. Let me big screen that for us. I think you guys can still hear me, but let's look for the structures. Now, I believe, I can't remember, I think he said that the taint was up here. Oh, hold on. Ah, there. So this apparently is the top. Could be. Not sure. No. We have to look. No, we're going back way up. Way up. And we're looking for a long tube-like structure on both sides. And what do we see? Over here, clearly on the right-hand side, we have a reddish area in the proper shape with a ball at the bottom running along. And this will vein structures, I believe it is. I can show these in other, well, head up to here. Now, I believe it looks like it's broken off. So yeah, that would be we would be looking at it upside down. So this structure along here is the liver, sometimes these are up there. So we found one. Let's see what we find over here. Let's see if we can find a similar structure. Remnants of out. You see something like the remnant. Now you see how this area is like crusty, darkish. So over here we have crusty and darkish. So you may only have a piece of this one. But it does appear to be flowing or going in the same direction. Could be lying. Yeah, okay, that looks like it there, yeah. So the remnants of it were probably there. Okay. It'll be there. You can see this one goes extends for how many miles is that? Okay, this is if this is the genitals that okay. I'm thinking around 1,000 miles. So these genitals could be around 1,000 miles long. Now, I'll show you labia. Labia. So here's the open structure over in the Red Sea. I imagine it is closed up. This is the top of it. And here we have the long structure here. Go close in on that. Right there. And the remnants of one here. Over here in the Red Sea, they are much, much bigger. The one over here is only about 100 to 200 miles across, or in length. This is exciting. So I'll turn the camera around, I'll adjust a couple of things here, and I will draw out the structures for you so you can see where they are. A little more clearly. Your comments so far? Very good. And it looks like we are finding the right structures. Hi, F Kitty. See Mediterranean, giant vagina. Okay, so I'll show you guys a couple of other places that are similar structures. So, let's see here. Dragon penis. For that one. See a structure here. It looks like a Pac-Man head. This is the top of a male lizard's penis. And again, you can see how it goes down, gets there, and it's got a roundish shape. And there's another one over here. Back out a little bit. So I see it. So it runs along here, and you can even see sperm field coming out of it. This area up here is a sperm field. Let's go to a different one. We'll go to the genitals. This one is really cool because it does have, these are the testicles right here, this shape structure. Okay, but again, we can see on the outside here, There's two structures going along like this, splitting up from it. Okay. I think I have any other examples here. No, that's it. So, other than Libya, go to the sea. So that's much more suitable size. I've been wondering where Tiamat's vagina is. Now, I can't say that that is Tiamat's vagina. It's very close to her head. Here's what I believe Tiamat's head in China. The eye being this big thing here, but it is a dragon, so it could be all twisted and, you know, morphed up on itself. Or this could be another dragon. I don't know. But it would be a more suitable size for Tiamat than Lydia. It's to the right area here. I can draw it out for you. It does take a keen eye, yeah. Two balls finding bearings, yeah. Geological gonads, exactly, yes. Hey, Squirrel Sniper, good to see you. They had a large empire at one time, even bigger influence in geography. Mediterranean. Mediterranean, that is something to think about. Okay. All right, change the camera out. This is gonna screw with your eyeballs, isn't it? It's a balancing act. It is the best way to do it, though, unfortunately. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. Go to here. Oh, sorry, that's not right. Okay, so the structures we're looking at, now they're in different positions. You can see this one here comes up along here, terminates around there. This one is down. They often seem to be in that kind of a position, though. Comes up and along like this. So the structures appear to be there. The next thing I'd really want to find is possibly eggs in the area. Now, that's not to say that they would necessarily be there, but it'd be good to find. I know we do, because we find right over here in Libya, there are eggs here in this area. I know there are eggs down along this fringe. I have found. So there is enough evidence in the area to reasonably say that is, oops, hi Nostichef, dragon genitals. Unlike, you know, the other examples, most of the other examples I find are male. This is the second that I believe is female. Like Yemen, down here is full of semen. Dragon just plays perfectly on each other. The one is buried, but this one's easily visible. One's down here. This one up here is buried, but it would run the same course. Like that. So that's why I look for those structures. Both the male and female have those structures. Now, they're for different purposes, obviously, because they are male and female, but part of their purpose is as a kidney, interestingly enough. Well, so the ones, the elasto branch, elasmo branch is one of the close ones, followed, I think, by the amphibian. Let me zoom in on this so you can see them. So here's the elasmo branch here. And down here, oops, is the amphibian, similar to the amphibian as well. And almost like birds, too, which is interesting. But you can see the structure of the cloaca. I showed you the two testicles in here in the teleost, very similar to the teleost. Found these two structures heart-like over by the Grand Canyon. So, but the end pieces look more like this, like the elasmo branch. So it's there seem to be a whole mix of genitals out there, but they're not mammalian. They're reptilian, amphibian, elasmo branch, teleost, cyclostome. But you can see it's interesting. The kidneys are contained in those structures that I showed you. The testes at the end, and even on the one structure, the testes were actually down here, more like us, where they have like an extension of the penile, I guess you call it, type structure. They call it the kidney and intestine. You know, it's very different from us. There was no insertion. So I thought that was interesting. It is to me. So yeah, I wanted to confirm what Roger Spur had shown on Mud Fossil University, using the research that I have discovered. I shared these images with the chat over at Rogers. I hope people take a look. Because you can those structures on the labia of the Red Sea, I guess it would be. That's really amazing. So that vajayjay is probably big enough to be Tiamat's. I would bet. So that's interesting. There's a set of genitals right here in Yemen. Are they in Yemen? Yeah, part of it is right here. Half of it. Set of genitals. And we can see the two structures crossing each other right here. Here's the end of the genital from Red Sea. And we can see this is generally found belly. This go in close and show you if still. See how it's striated? That? I'm sure there was probably, maybe have been something on the but this is dragon belly. I was hoping to find, show you in here. You can see structures like this. This look is the inner vaginal skin. Let's see what place where sand's gone. There we go, that's better. So we can see all pores in this stuff. All these pores. I was hoping to find something like that. We're in by the Red Sea. So we'll have to take a look in and see if we can find that. Ryder Lee joined us in the last 20 minutes. Cool. I don't know who he is. Hi, Loretta. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. And I know this is Scotty's favorite topic. Yeah. That's why I waited for him. Good to see you, Nina. Yeah, it's this happened last New Year's and Christmas as well. So let's see if we can find some similar structures. They might be more eroded or less eroded. Hard to tell. So we'd probably find them somewhere along it. Oh, this one looks like it's closed up, right? The other one in Libya looks open. And this one is closed. See, appears to be closed. Up. Maybe. We the wide open like on Jupiter, Libya. No, I don't know that. See, as far as I understand it, the do not do for sexual reproduction. Yeah. Snakes, lizards, and fish do the exchange outside the body. in most cases, the female just absorbs all fluid and inseminates the eggs. And of course, most of them drop the eggs, and the eggs are inseminated externally. This has possibilities, but doesn't look the same. See, I think he's all clammed up here. That's what I think's going on. He's clamped up so we don't get to see the same type flesh. Hi, Mr. Obvious. Good to see you. Hi, Trey. So yeah, I'll have to take a look at that and see what's up with that. Yep, the males spray all willy-nilly. We can see that in all over the place, really. There's sperm fields all over the damn planet. I want to show you my favorite Sammy sperm is India. That's what I call it. Let's go take a look at Sammy sperm. Where'd you go, Sammy? That's interesting. Most of the eggs I find are about a mile long. And these sperm are gigantic. 1 mile long. And that's pretty huge sperm. So, they vary in size. Sperm vary in size. I haven't found eggs that vary in size. I've only found the 1 mile. Oh yeah, that's my audio's cutting in and out. Yeah, they'll do that sometimes. So the black would be eggs. Eggs I can show you. So it's here, let me just go to an egg bookmarks. Egg 1, sperm on the right side. The eggs end up looking like a lot. They come in various different forms. That's probably not the best one to show you. That one's looking at the sperm coming in. Egg 3. These are egg fields. Here, these are cool. This one's here. So these are what I believe are remnants. And you can see all of these piles around them. The sperm that were headed to the eggs, I believe. You can see the sperm type shape, and this one's got kind of a tail coming off this side. But most of the eggs, like this one here, this one's dried up. I don't know if it's still viable. It may have gone through part of its growth cycle. I don't know. There's a lot of dried up eggs. They often end up becoming volcanoes because they rot, and the rotting turns into lava. Like here. Let's see. Now, what's interesting about this is it has two types of outflow. And we can clearly see this area here, all one uniform, pretty much color. This is all one material. This coming out. And this is a complete different. So like, it's like this is the white and this turning to be the yolk. See how gloopy this stuff looks. And then you get this stuff here is all grainy. And again, this is about a mile across. About this area here, mound of it. Explosive sperm, yeah, explosive eggs. Yeah, they do. Some of them do seem to have partially grown and then been destroyed. A lot of them seem to have footprints in them. People like to step on them. I suppose it's like any kid wandering along. If you see an egg, you're going to stomp it. Especially if you know if it's going to be grow up to be a giant dragon or something, you know. It'd be a good idea to stomp those eggs. Looks like an anus. There's an image of it makes it look like a big giant nipple, but it's not. All right. Let's see. He was looking for the source of the Nile. Let's see, gotta go back. And that was an interesting one. Too far. He showed an interesting image of what could be an egg, and it may even still be viable. There was what he believes was another vagina. Oh, Matt, you're not being helpful. There's Jupiter's vagina. Where was that? This one was interesting. Oops. I've looked at this one before. Oh, come on. There we go. Got it. So this one was interesting too. I've looked at this one, but where it is. But I'd like to look for the similar structure. Yeah, who's the baby daddy? That's what I wonder. And it seems like in the past they interbred with each other quite easily. Like these sperm and eggs, they seem to just link up no problem. Yeah, that's one big vajayjay. This one, I don't know how big this one is. Oops. I can't see in his maps good enough. Yeah, it's bizarre that they all work like that. That's weird. But in the past, we read the ancient stories, and the gods and man and everybody was sleeping with everybody. And as I'm saying, it doesn't seem like everybody bred with, like, you know, humans with humans and stuff. They might have done some interspecies hanky-panky in the past. Yeah, cosmic vagina. You mean Curie? Would Jupiter have a vagina? Yeah. I don't know I don't know that Jewish people come from Jupiter's vagina. Hi, Elder. Yeah, it is. That's what it seems. I don't know where these creatures came from. I don't know if they were like in space. Like where where were they? Were they on another planet somewhere and they got thrown into space? Did the planet blow up? And I don't know. I There was a war. Apparently, the story goes there was a war, and the Earth lost, and it made many monsters for the war. So yeah, is this just the remnants of the war? Wasn't sure how to read that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was consensual. Like, like, okay, why is there sperm and eggs all over the planet? Right? Like, was that their last act? Just like spraying sperm and eggs everywhere? I don't know. You thought you were getting away with something? Nice. The Scardy? Dungeon being sacred? Panspermia seeding the planet? Yeah, I think that there was sperm definitely that came from the sky. That's how the story reads. It was Hesiod's, I think, when Sky mated with Earth, and many creatures were born. I did a show reading of that. Where are the Faulas? I showed you the Faulas earlier. They're in Yemen. They're by the Grand Canyon. At least the clearest depictions of them. Like asteroids. Yeah. I like the spelling there, Trey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Sammy sperm there, I think he came from the sky. Because I can't find genitals area that are like we is ejecting this. This is field alone here, and where Libya, that dark patch. I think that was when Sky mated with the Earth. But then again, I'm now doubting that this is the Earth's vagina, and that over here, the Red Sea is probably Earth's vagina. You know, it's so close to Tiamat's face. It's, you know, might be an indignation that was put upon her. You know, maybe they molded her that way, just as a final slap in the face. I don't know. But yeah, the structures are defined enough to see them, at least this one here on the right-hand side. Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. I wonder what names are from. Bahrain? King Salman. King Solomon bin. Royal Natural Reserve. That's at the base of the penis-like structure, or genital structure. Audio is funky. There, I'll turn that off. Sometimes playing a YouTube video in the background messes it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of these names do seem to mean something, like Libya's labia, Yemen, semen. So I do look for that in the names. King Salman. I don't know. Maybe that is tough. Soul of man. The soul of man is is junk. For some it is. Yeah. That's a big junk. That's a female. This is a male down here because we can see the ejecta from the fuel. I don't know what they exactly call it. It's a penis-like structure, and I can show this type of action again and again. But yeah, that's a vagina. Okay. That the output signals is the issue. All the inputs are receiving the same spottiness. Okay. Anyone else having trouble with the audio? Let me see. Where's that? So this was I'm not going to play the whole thing. Turn the audio off here. There are a couple of images that I wanted to show you.
Is used to see how much of history can be altered in front of our eyes. Here's a prime example.
This has to do with
on TikTok
the Mandela effect.
She swore the Fruit of the Loom.
Now, her claim was that the Fruit of the Loom symbol had a cornucopia, one of those horns of plenty, coming out the back.
And to the point that even
now,
Fruit of the Loom
themselves put out a timeline of the symbols, okay, claiming that there was never a Fruit of the Loom logo with the I'll show you. They actually put that out right there. Okay. I see a penis in the water, the shape going down. Yep. All right, Loretta. Here.
Line of
However,
all logos, and it never had a cornucopia. And this woman went hard. Her therapist
she went nuts.
Yo, you need to chill out. You need to just drop this.
She remembered there being one.
All of her old clothes.
And so she went through all of her old clothes and she found a shirt. And I'll show you that, with the cornucopia logo. There it is. So even with, it's crackling. Resident Dent. She found a shirt with the cornucopia on there, even showing that Fruit of the Loom themselves was faking it. Now, this is kind of nuts, right? Like, yeah, why lie? Tighty washes. So why lie? Right? Are they like changing history to see how much they can get away with changing without us noticing? You know? Are they doing that to us? So there it is, and they, Fruit of the Loom themselves, claiming, no, no, that never happened. Obviously, that's BS, right? So is it another psyop? Is the Mandela effect being used? Like, I'm not saying the Mandela effect is real or not. I'm saying, I'm wondering, I'm questioning, is it being used in a way that they are, yeah, mindfuckery, altering history, little bits of history, putting out little videos, Mandela videos, and seeing if we start fighting over it, what happens, Yeah, they'll sneak into your room and change your underwear holdings, right? Yeah, gaslighting, making us question everything, leaves, yep, mentally open to any mind F's, yeah. So yeah, we're busy, wondering, are we being screwed with what's, now it's kind of another mind fuckery in a way, because they get you on both ends, right? They get you with wondering if your memory is right or wrong, and then they get you by realizing it's a mind fuckery and nobody else realizes it. So that is a total mind fuckery, you know. See, I remember because people told me that the Star Wars cards were Mandela affected, but I remember because I was a Star Wars fan when it came out, the first movie, and I got all the cards, I got all the memorabilia and all that. And then years later, people were saying that they changed the wording on the cards. But when I was a kid, I remember reading the cards going, that's not what they said. They did rephrase things for the cards. They didn't put the exact quotes. They just put whatever. And it really pissed me off as a kid because you buy a scene card with a scene and you remember the exact quote from that because, well, it was like one of the greatest movies of your life, right? So you remember the exact quote. You could practically, recite the entire movie. But then you get the card and they show you something different. Why? You know? You're one of them reading guys? Not really. Well, maybe. I don't know. That's what marketing is. So marketers are the devil. Or whatever character was. Hmm. What about Nelson Mandela? Did he die and we have a fake that took his place? I'm sure that's actually possible. So, yeah, that is possible. They can even do a fake with one of those masks since the 80s, those hoods. So, even our politicians, anybody can be fake at the moment. Love you, barbecue. Yeah, once they put everything digital, yeah, they just change it and it'll be broadcast that way forever, right? So important to keep books. Maybe we're dying in prison. Yeah, maybe we're in prison and Mandela's the only free person. No, he didn't die in prison. There's a comedian that disappeared too for a long time, that little uh, overweight guy. I can't remember his name, but everybody thought he died. But then he was back. campfire steak soaking in a Budweiser. Ooh. Well, it is the cheapest beer out there now. Okay. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's, the apocalypse happened while I was working in corporate America, 2012 to 14. Yeah, the fat guy. Yeah, who? That's a good question, Loretta. Who was the first to mention the Mandela effect, or make it popularize it? Check that out in a minute. Marlena is... Oh, that's not it. Let's see, where are we here? Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Marlena is now dealing with this new friend. Apparently she has the uncanny ability to have creatures show up at her front door. So this is what she's doing right now. Let's see, there is another one. And there's the other doggy. She has many puppies. The Lost Century. Lance, napping before class. Karen Lynn sent us in. Lance looks like a tiger. Yeah, he is so cute. Hey Steve, how you doing? It's pet section of the show. I think that's it. Lost Century. Yeah, for the moment. Oh, if we went through these. These are from Karen. She found some stones. I haven't been able to identify any of them. Very interesting stuff, though. I think I went through these ones, yeah. And that's about it for viewer mail. I don't know if that was... Oh, yeah. Hold on, where is that? This one was interesting. And kind of exciting. I don't know if it's real or not. Let's see what we've got here. So this is claimed to be... It looks like it's a mirror. You can see right here. In the image, there is a line. Well, this is a mirror of this here. Okay, so first of all, the image has that to it. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. No. Okay, that's about it. That's the extent of our zoom. It hasn't snowed here, yeah. There's cars coming into town with snow on them, though, so there's snow somewhere. What's that? Are they from the Middle East? Hmm. I've come across some of those. I haven't covered that, the rock circles. They produce energy, they seem to. The heat level inside them and the energy level inside them is increased, so. Hmm. You just got some snow today, nice. Yes, the this is supposed to be a Antarctic pyramid. Now, that's unfortunately as close as I can get in on the image. Let's see. Let's try something else. No. Unable to get any other images, any better images. And I don't even know if this one is really that accurate or true. So, but I thought it was a great image. I'll share this with you guys so that it doesn't go disappearing or whatever. But with AI, they can make images like this. But I don't see any reason to fake an image and mirror it, you know? Like I was saying at the beginning, how there's the line, you can see where they have mirrored the image. I think that has something to do with the old style of reproduction. You can do that. I don't know how. Middle East, Asian. Let's see. The big stone circle henges, or the Middle East ones, they call them corrals. Okay. Yeah, they're not corrals. They have no entrance. No, this image here is not from Google Earth. This this is an image I pulled up in a search for Nick Bird pyramid. Now this guy's well, let's see if it was Admiral Nick Bird. And it was spelt differently as well. Let's see what happens if I do the proper spelling. BYRD was the real spelling. They come up with some... Okay. That looks photoshopped. I'll show you what it came up with. It didn't come up with the one that I showed you. Yeah, so I pointed that out at the beginning. There's no reason to fake an image and do that. So let me show you the next one. So this is what came up. This was I guess a capstone buried. That looks very much like a fake image. Let me open it up and take a look. No, that guy looks totally pasted on there. None of that really looks right. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think the first image looked better. The man would be sticking up to the female sky. They would always make construction symbols. It's one big temple. The Middle East of Asia. I like the other one better. Yeah, that one. Although it's a very small and very grainy image. I'm not tech savvy, but you could do a reverse image search on that to find the source. See where it came from. TikTok. That image came from TikTok. So put a little bit of. So here we can see the bottom of the image. I don't know, I thought it was. I don't know if it's real. Circles in the center. Well, they come in different shapes. So many different shapes, Loretta. All seem to be specifically built for that area, that resonance. And they all have channels running between them, too. I don't have any images of those right now. Who's working on that? Michael Tellinger? I really follow anybody's research religiously. I unfortunately have to do my own. One of those time friends in imaging photos. This image comes from TikTok. The viewfinder ones. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they did those stereoscopic images. Would that work that way? I don't know. Because it's mirrored. Aren't they supposed to be the same image and your eyes overlay them? Yeah, did they look like that? Like, were they mirrored? I don't know. It's an interesting image nonetheless. I do think that there are pyramids in Antarctica. There's this one. It's really good. People believe those are pyramids. I'd believe it. I do like it. Lions run almost perfectly. And most pyramids seem to have something coming off one side. And this one, no? I like the top view, yeah, and the side view is amazing. you can see this area, that could be just piled up snow. It's most likely that. Something here. I don't know. And there's another pyramidal structure off to the left. It's really neat looking. All right, we're at an hour. Cool. So, is there anything you guys wanted to talk about? This is open chat time now. I think that's all I wanted to show you. Check a couple things. Did we get here? LaSalle's Mountain. I like it when it is. This is neat. Okay. Let's see. There we are. Hi. Nice to see you. I just got sent an image from LaSalle Mountains viewpoint. I guess Karen Lynn believes that this may be some type of a discernible structure, and I'd love to find out. Yeah, we could do that. I want to see what Karen Lynn's got here. What is this? So LaSalle's Mountains viewpoint. Let's see what it is. Oh, weird. Okay. That is a weird structure. Looks like a leg bone almost. Something up here. Ugh. That's biology. That's gross looking biology. Look at this. This is all turned up. Fleshy stuff. Spin over the landscape. That's gross. Aaron, why'd you send this? This is gross looking. It's just like a big gaping wound. That looks like a fishy, doesn't it? I'm gonna bookmark that spot as a fish. Maybe a fish. Fish, maybe. I wonder if this area's got... Some areas do have a lot of fish preserved in them. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a remnant of a fish. Or a porpoise, look at that. Maybe that's a snout? Huh. That one definitely looks like a fish. It would... And this being a gaping... This was a gaping wound of some type. It'd probably have lower... more fluid in the area. There's another structure. Look at this one. It is kind of fish shaped with even like eyeball right area right there. Dorsal fin. Yeah. There's the pectoral fin, I think they call it. Hey, look, even like almost like scales. Right there. What do you guys think? Let's see what this is. This looks like it's a longer, bigger thing. What do you guys think? Looks like a bone. Think peppered with buckshot and oozing up close. They really look like more like meteor impacts. So cracked the crust from the upper super volcanic fields. Let's take a look. That was interesting, Karen. I think that's fishies. Take a look at this one and see. It's got the fish shape, right? That's really cool. Let's see if we can... This one looks more eroded. Oh, hold on. Be some scales. Maybe. That looks like another fish, almost. Huh. That one really looks like scales. That one's really convincing. Yeah, very similar to the other ones on the other structure. So I think you found some fish, Karen. I'll see if we can the same skin type thing. Kinda. Very big on a little fish, though. Huh. Up to the tail. Maybe. Does look like a fish. So, about here. Diamond shape. Looking like they're overlapping each other. That area too. Well, we found fish field. So this one would probably be a very long fish curled up. Let's see if we can find any head remnants. I don't know. That's really hard to tell. Not like the one. I don't know if it looks more like something. What do we got going on down here? Well, that's really neat. So some of that scale-like structure left here totally eroded. And what else? That does look like it could be a jaw. Very long jaw. That would be one eye area over here and here. And I think the bottom jaw is here and the top jaw up here. Let's go in on the top jaw. It looks like there might be scales left on that. This could have been a dragon. Those are fish-looking scales, though. Meh. Very long fish or with a big long snout. And those look like legs, right? Doesn't that look like possibly legs? One leg here and another one here. And that could be a bone. Two bones. Or the ball joint of a bone. We've got something with legs like a crocodile. Let's see what we have down here. Yeah. See, that's got the same. And crocodile. Fish and a crocodile. What a cool find, Karen. That looks like a flat tail, but not sure. I think that's a continuation of it, and this section here is probably gone. So I think that's a crocodile. See if this has holes on it, which way they're headed. Yeah, so those scales are headed. You can see them. They're overlapping this, laying down this direction. So the head would be up in this area here, whatever's left of it. So that's a separate thing from this. That could be the eye cavity right there. On lizards, they have oftentimes got a number 7 in the scales around the eye. It looks like it's got one of the portions of it. Possibly this one here. Could be upside down. There could be a top jaw and the bottom jaw there. I don't know how legs go over there that way. Those do look like legs, with even with a piece of bone sticking out. Made up of like 3 or 4 animals. Many, I think. Many different types of animals. I don't know how that happened. Like the first creatures born were the 50-hand or the 100-handed and 50-headed. I don't know what those look like. I don't know how big they were or anything. But then the monsters and the gods were born, and they were gigantic, so the dragons and other animals. And I don't know how many types of animals. Um, I just don't know. Um, I am trying to find them. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say how many. Because even the dragons, like, had human eyes. His legs were human-like. So all these creatures all had different mixes of DNA, apparently. Like, they all interbred, even in later times. So you think about it, the Anunnaki came to Earth or whatever, right? What if they were from here and they just interbred with us? You know, they kept themselves separate, and then at one time they started interbreeding with us. Yep, built on top of generations of bones. From dinos to mammoths, yeah. Sloths. Yeah, giant sloths were 18 feet tall, so 10 times as big as they are now, because now they're just 2 feet. They're barely 2 feet long. Yeah, the ancient stories make much more sense when you start reading them and interpreting through the landscape. Like when I see all this different size sperm all over the landscape and all these eggs and different creatures, well, it's mind blowing, really. Um, let's see. So that was fish and uh, I think a Google Map. Spare's got a couple. Let's see what this one is. So that one I think was fish and alligator. Let's see what we have here. We'll share the next one. Oh, it's the same. It's the same spot. Okay. Okay, that was the only. Check this out. Hold on. If eagles nest spotted it. Okay. So that. Huge bald eagles. No. No thanks. Huge bald eagle's nest. It's spotted in West Texas. That is big. Okay, I think that's it. LaSalle Mountains viewpoint on Google Maps. That might be part of the same area. Same area, okay. So that's all I'll wait for that. Where are you guys? I've lost you. Too many times. Happy New Year, Spartan. Good to see you. So very interesting year to start off with some mud fossil research. Even Roger got into it. More? Yeah. Okay, so this area, I believe, that's an alligator. Look at the size of it compared to the alligator. The fish is how long? Just under a mile. The alligator's about the same size. So both are like that's the entire fish. And I suppose the alligator is, oh, he's longer. So he'd be about 2 miles. Because he's bent. Coming down here and bending up this way. I don't know, are the legs always that close to the head? I don't know. Pantos for eagles, definitely, yeah. The invite if G wants to come up and have a chat about anything. Or anyone else. Not too many people here that do come up. Check my tabs up here and make sure I have nothing else that I missed. Okay, Fruit of the Loom, that was cool. Pyramids. Yeah, don't forget to save that image. I don't know if I'll find it again. The only reason I found it was through a misspelling. If you do that, sometimes you get different results. I think the planet was bigger way back in the day, because it probably dried out like a corpse, and then burst like the flood. You know, at the flood time, like a corpse would do. Kind of gross, but that's what happens. You know. And imagine bloating in a sun. You know. I think when we were in Saturn's aura, we probably didn't bloat because it was just a haze around us. At least that's what they claim, like the purple dawn theory. Um, were the continents connected? I don't know. What I think may have happened. Where are we there? The oceans. Right? Now this, to me, looks like a huge rip. They claim it is. It's putting out hot lava and stuff. So is this trend in the Atlantic? Is that where the Earth split up and all the water came gushing out? So we don't really see quite the same type of things over here in the Pacific. See some markings. Really, that one area really looks like it blew or open. And the waters from the flood came from below and above. Okay, let's see. If that was the belly of Tiamat, you would think it would split up the belly, right? Like almost up the middle, maybe? That is the vagina. Bear with me here. That's the vagina. Did the belly come curl around like that? Is that trench of the ocean going all the way? Because it does. It looks like it does. Looks like it goes all the way from the Red Sea here, all the way around and up. And it continues. So did the earth tear open that much? All the way over to the Red Sea. What do you guys think? Interesting idea. Spreading in the Pacific, yeah. Hi, G.
Hello, everyone.
Good to see
Happy
you.
New Year. Yeah, good to see you too. We're heading into a great new year.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like so great so far. It started off like last year, with dragon genitals. I didn't expect I wasn't doing anything on that, but I blame Roger. It's his fault. He brought out work on the Red Sea. And I went and I looked for the structures that we find. There's two structures that extend out from the genitals, and I think we found them. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm
That's a
believing
cool
it.
find.
Yeah.
Right on, right on.
So I actually I sent them the images, like the technical images that I used to look for those structures. So maybe some of the people did that while he was live. So hopefully they'll take a look at it and look for those structures, and other people will find them in other places. I found them in Yemen, Libya, and near the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon might be more grand than we think.
I think so. A lot happened there. We just don't know about it. Yeah.
There was a bunch of spreading going on. Yeah. You could, well, if you think of it like a corpse, if the Earth was a corpse at one time, which I believe it was, drying out in the sun, it would have bloated, then exploded, and shrunk back down. But I think because it's still baking, it's going to probably expand because it's still baking and bubbling inside.
I think so too. And I think there's more oil from that carcass, so to speak, than they let us on.
Yeah, the oil fields seem to refill themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
They found they can go to old what they consider dead oil fields, and retap them and get oil out of them. So they don't want you to know that that even itself is almost a renewable resource. It will eventually end, but we've tapped like nothing of it. You know, the most of the planet could probably even turn into oil.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we keep going with the plastic, it's on its way.
Yeah,
We need to stop that a little bit. But I do like gas emissions and such. I don't think it's doing the damage they're saying, and I think there's plenty of oil. Scarcity sells things. You know.
yeah, yeah, and fear. You know, fear
Yep.
loss, right? Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, but the new like they're building like seven coal fired plants in China every week apparently.
Oh.
So, and they don't put on the filters that we put on. So that dirty carbon gets out. Like the ones that we build here, they have carbon scrubbers, so they take all the heavy particulate out of the air and just like CO2 pretty much, which plants love. That's what you pump into a greenhouse if you want more growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of
Yes.
the
No.
Earth's atmosphere has been about 20% CO2 in the past.
Yeah. This
For
is how
for the
crazy it is.
yeah,
The growers buy carbon monoxide to put in their tents.
yeah, they burn propane usually.
Oh, but they have these
Yeah.
canisters that release it every
Yeah.
30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are fancy machines with like you can buy canisters of CO2. Comes in
Yeah, it's
if you
crazy.
compress it enough, it turns to a liquid. So
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, you can almost squeeze a liquid out of most things, an oil or some sort.
yeah, well, there's like
Trips
hemp
me
oils
out.
you can make like plastic like products out of hemp oil.
Yeah. D-
You know,
the eating dishes of the future, when you get those little plastic, we call them clamshells that hold your food, those could easily be made out of seaweed or hemp.
yeah, yeah.
Biodegradable, voila, there's your answer.
Add
But they
some
won't do
gelatin.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
they won't.
seaweed makes a great gelatin. You can, or even agar, or there's all
Yeah,
kinds of things you can use to actually make things into solid products that are biodegradable.
absolutely. No, we do not need the plastic containers. I really think the oil companies have a hand in that. So,
Yeah, kale chips, right? You can make everything out of kale chips pretty much easily.
yeah, a lot of, yeah. You see, I am
You
so,
just put them in a press form. There you go. You made your plate, fork, and knife. It's all
yeah,
biodegradable. And you
there you
can eat
go.
it if you want to.
Yeah, seriously, I am so excited for these next two generations, millennials and Gen Zers, to come up with these things, which they have come up with them. They're just not letting us use them, I guess. But I think
Yeah,
it's going to be high time. Yeah.
the 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 limiting factor is money because to make the machinery is hugely expensive. That takes hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point in time. Probably, you're talking millions to make one machine to make one product,
Yeah,
and that's the
possibly.
limiting factor, right? Because the banks are not going to invest in that type of thing.
No, they're all
You
tied
know?
up with the oil companies. I mean, they're all hand in hand. I think
Oh
I
yeah,
think there's a lot of,
yeah. They're on
foot
the renewable
dragging.
resource side and they're on the oil side.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah. We're
they're
stuck
pretty
in the
much
middle. So,
making it. Yeah, they're making money off both sides of it.
yeah. Hey, Max, I was talking about Pluto earlier. Can I share a screen and talk about
Yeah,
Pluto?
sure
Okay.
can. My wife's
Let me
planet
see.
is Pluto, so that's kind of exciting. Be a good year for
Ah.
her.
Oh, yeah. Major changes coming up for us generationally. Pluto is a generational planet. It moves about every 19 or 20 years through a house. And coming up in January, I have it written out. Pluto is going into Aquarius January 20th. And then it will step back into Capricorn, as you see, September through November. That is a time to watch out what Capricorn has to finish up. Because I like to tell people, when you have an astrology house, the degrees at the very beginning and the very end of the house are very powerful because they're like bookends and they have to put pressure to hold the house in, so to speak. So the very bottom and the very top of the degrees are your most intense. So as Pluto goes back and forth, we're going to see a little bit of a shakeup, I think. And as you read writing out Aquarius rules the 11th house, large groups, friendships, teams, ideals, and humanity. So Pluto, if you can imagine, is like a plow that goes through the field, through the earth,
Okay.
and it pulls all that stuff up and, spreads it out, and we go through it to see what we want to recycle and reuse or get rid of. That's kind of how it works through the
Oh, okay.
houses.
Kind of cleaning
So-
house, eh?
Exactly. So as it digs up, like it shows here, rebirth, death, and digging into the depths of major things, people may become intense. So I just say,
Okay.
hold on and have a thick skin because, there's a lot of intensity with friendships and groups coming up that we have to sort out in the next 20 years. And the Yang side, as I write at the bottom here, there may be an all or nothing approach to friendships and groups. And that's kind of sad because we're seeing such division already now. When I grew up, I didn't care who you voted for or what church you went to. But now, oh my God, don't talk about
Okay.
those things. Yeah, people get a little glitchy. So anyway, there you go. That's my thing for 2024 with Pluto. The next 19 years, we're going to be digging in the dirt,
So
so
that
to speak.
that could be a good reason for them to put out like they have these new moves out by Barack Obama, or at least they're subsidized or helped by with his help, that are promoting division. There was the Civil War movie just out. That's what its title is. So they're really, I think, just blatant in your face pushing division, even though people are calling it out as stupid and this is ridiculous. We see what you're doing. They're doing it anyway. I don't know if it's because they can't help to follow the program, even though it's being rejected. I don't know if they think maybe it will have some effect on the subconscious or psyche of people, even just seeing the advertisements for it, because I don't think very many people have watched it. I don't get the blind rushing forward with stuff that's being called out. I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I think that our culture, like you said, either consciously or subconsciously, is questioning more. Whatever it is, questioning what's in their food, to questioning who we're really voting for. But yeah, I think the slowly. It's always slow. We want it to happen right now. I do, but it's a real slow river. But if you step back on the banks and watch it go by for a minute or two, you'll see that more and more people are questioning how, and that's exactly what Pluto was going through Capricorn. Here it is at the very end, a lot of pressure at the end of that house to ask what is our structure here, our judicial system, our election system. All of that has just, I think, came out in the open. I think Pluto's dug up quite a bit, and now we move into the house of associations. How are we going to handle ourselves with each other over that, so. But yeah.
I forgot. Epstein list is supposed to be out today.
Yeah. And they have it all
Epstein
listed as,
list.
what is it?
The Guardian.
Client 14 or client, what is it?
Oh,
Clinton is man 36 or whatever. They're not
a
listing
list
names.
to be released as soon as Tuesday. Okay. So I thought it was the first they were going to release it on. That's what I heard. Bill Clinton, one of the names mentioned on Epstein document. Well, we've got the flight logs, dude. Like, come on. This is how they're gonna filter. right, is what they're going to do is ignore the flight logs and
Yes. And
put
the
out this
will be
list, right?
generic, like man 36, man 37. They're not, I heard they're
Yeah.
not going to.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy from Boeing, this guy from Raytheon, nobody you've ever
Pony
heard
show.
of, Oh, let's take them all down. Oh yeah, we'll get them all for you. There, we've done our job. We've taken out all the bad guys. Yeah.
They are the bad guys. They are. They're the mob.
Oh
If you
yeah,
go against the mob, what do
they're
you think's gonna
investigating
happen?
themselves.
Yes. And if you're a
You know?
whistleblower or you question too far, you're going to have some cement shoes soon.
Exactly. Where's Julian Assange? Where's Snowden? Where are these people? They're on the run because they were whistleblowers.
Yeah, look at anybody who stands up. Guess what happens? Whack-a-mole.
Except for these guys, we wouldn't know that the Patriot Act is used to spy on American people and has been, for years.
Oh,
Without
the
people like,
technology is.
without these people
really
calling it out,
Yeah, the technology is, well, it's a double-edged sword. It's helped them and it's hurt them.
Yeah, yeah. The idea is hopefully that whistleblowing will become the norm and not the exception, because you can't put everybody in jail.
Well, that's true. That in nature, I have to say, everything counts in large amounts. That's nature.
Yeah. Once the numbers are too big for them to prosecute, jail, and harass, then they have to pretty much move on to a different, would collapse under the weight of all the whistleblowers.
Yeah, we can only hope. I sit here and like a lot of the channels I've watched, they're saying 24 is going to be the year of the all years to see something happen. And I'm going, well, there's a 50-50 chance, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But like I said, getting back to Pluto for a second, over the years, I think in the future here, the next few years, we're going to definitely see our society handling our friendships and our groups differently.
In what way?
They're going to try a lot of control. They're going to push it and push it. However, Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, things sideswipe them every time. It just, nope, that ain't going to work. Something will come in until I think, like I said, the next couple of generations, I hope I'm around to see some of it, will kind of turn around how we deal with each other. I think we'll have yet again, a whole new structure to groups, friendships, relationships, and all.
Yeah, I like Mr. Obvious. They have these black mirrors. Jails are obsolete. They might be, because if you look at the 5G grid that they've put up, it is a grid, and it seems to separate neighborhoods. For the amount of distance they travel, they don't seem to want to hit the middle of a neighborhood. They just want to hit the outsides. So we have to figure out ways to combat these technologies in the future, because that's coming along with the robot technology. We'll probably be having to figure out ways to combat that with things like setting paints, low-tech attack type scenarios, because they've totally got you beat with the tech. You can't outshoot an AI robot. That's not going to happen. It'll all mostly be traps. Yeah, traps set for them so that they walk into them and get caught up, or get into a situation where they can't get out of something, or or one of their senses is impaired, like with paint, things like that. EMPs, EMP devices. You can easily make those with like, you get a capacitor and a strip of metal. Copper metal works best. More power, bigger EMP. Uh, those are pretty easy to make as well. But yeah, we have to get ready for that type of thing, I think, in the future. Hopefully we can nip it in the bud, but we have to be thinking of these things before our communication systems go down and sharing that type of information. You know, through the ideas, because we're very inventive and creative. So once we start thinking of ideas when it happens, and we already have the ideas, people can implement them easily, and you know how fast word travels. So if it does come down to that, we'll be ready. I did a show on
Figure it out.
nonviolent resistance to officers as well, like beads, paintballs, paint spray guns, things like that, just with benign materials. The Irish children took on the police with balloons filled with paint and won. Yeah.
Oh,
All their equipment was useless because they have face masks and shields, right? And they're all clear, plastic.
that's right.
Paint
Cover
all
the
over
lenses
that.
with paint.
Yeah.
You have to see. And then
They
you're
have
not
to
going to
take off-
shoot
they
that
have to-
CS gas off. Yeah.
Yeah, then they have to put down their shields and take off
Take
their
off the
masks,
mask.
and then they're easily peltable with stones.
We'll figure it out. There's always a way,
Yeah.
you know, to get around all of that. There really is.
And that was just Irish children. They figured it out.
Yeah, they did. Hey, kids have a great way of coming up with stuff, man.
Yeah. Just social,
Yeah.
yeah, social credit score. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
another
Mr.
thing I hope
Arms.
we refuse. I think we're going to have to go for digital dollars, maybe crypto. I think we should go with crypto and gold and silver, backed crypto. I think that's the way to go. But we'll see what they come up with. We've got cryptos out there. I'm going to at least get an account, a crypto account, put a few dollars into it, either Monero or Bitcoin, just to have that available. Have a little bit of gold and silver for trading and whatever. And you should always have supplies, food and stuff for
Absolutely.
long periods
Oh,
of time.
Even at minimum, there's always a possibility of a earthquake, tornado, bad storms, power lines going out for days. Always just look at it in that perspective that you're preparing for just a natural disaster. If it's a man-made disaster, well, then you're all the more ready.
Powdered sugar
Powdered
in
sugar.
always
Yeah.
to clog up sidewalk mesh networks, which uses all of our phones, piggyback on each other's Bluetooth.
That's interesting. Yeah, Mr. Obvious also brings up the social credit score.
Yeah,
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that'll. Can you imagine you go on a dating
yeah,
site and you're gonna look up there? Okay, where are they at socially?
well, you'd have to because you
Yeah,
can't
that's
socialize with somebody who has a lower credit score. Otherwise,
That's
that'll bring
right.
down your social credit score.
that's right.
That's
Oh,
what they're
yeah.
doing in China. They
Ooh.
talking about your face on a black mirror. They do that in China. If you have made an offense or your score is low enough, they plaster your face on all the screens everywhere, and
Ooh.
tell people that
Minority Report.
it's incredible what they do. You know, so you can imagine the scenario. Your social is low enough, you can't buy food, water, travel, or even get into your house. and nobody can go near you because if they do, their social credit score will go down.
It's ridiculous.
You're
That's
isolated
ridiculous.
right in public.
And
Right?
then those
They
people
could,
will leave. Where do they go?
hmm
Oh, Antarctica.
yeah, or they just disappear, to a harvesting
That,
facility.
yeah, that's more likely. Yeah, there again, Pluto through Aquarius. Please watch for these things. I think they possibly will be tried.
Hmm. Yeah, they've got a really good system in China. The politicians are really proud of the way that they're able to keep their people in line. So, just think China is a great example of a communist government.
Yeah, that's
He
yeah.
admires the basic dictatorship of Xi Jinping. Like, yeah, I don't want to go to I don't want to go to camp. I'm done with camp. Right, Scotty? There's
I
going to
didn't
be
like camp as a
re-education
kid.
camps.
I
Yeah,
tried. My parents was. Oh, I
I did.
hated it.
Yeah,
You liked
I
it?
thought it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it was all right.
No, I.
Not all the activities, the after time at night, sitting around
Oh, I
with
see.
people. Yeah.
Campfires and all of that. Yeah.
hmm
No, I felt like I was talk about jail. I did. I thought I was in jail with other kids, girls mostly. It was like, campfire girls kind of a thing. I was in jail with them. I just wanted to go home.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Had an episode called Nosedive, exactly like the social credit score. Yeah. Yeah, they're really like they're building the prison around us, you know. Um, and we don't even see it really. Like I've got an app, I use the Electrosmart, so every time there's a new 5G or anything new, it shows up on my phone. And they are putting in a lot of 5G devices around us.
Oh yeah, all the time. And back in, I think it was 2015 in Portland, they put the smart meters in, and then I think it was 18 when they started using them. And both my partner and I have noticed a big difference in how we feel here because there's no smart meter. Especially that kind of numb, dull mind. Like you
Yep,
can't you
just
can't think.
that almost droning sound going on in your head.
Yeah, you just like can't
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
hmm
yeah, that's not happening. I have other things going on and headaches, but I'm more
I
and
used to get
more.
that from the old cordless phones. Apparently, they were almost as powerful as some of the towers. Those ones that we kept in our
Eh,
houses.
yeah, the 90s. No wonder what happened to
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
We were
I'm
just.
serious because
I remember I used to sit at the kitchen table and just shake, and I thought it was because of the coffee I was drinking.
yeah,
But it wasn't. It was because of we had
we were.
the base right there behind my head.
So do you think we can build up a tolerance, or it just affects us and we're just going cray cray slowly?
I don't think so. It's too random of a signal, unfortunately.
Mm,
It doesn't sustain any level.
real.
Like
Ah,
if they would sustain the level, might be able to adapt somewhat to that, but they adjust the power level all over the place. And the signal itself is the size. Apparently, it's basically built to almost the exact same size as your pores, so it goes right into your pores.
whoa. Now you were talking also about certain low level frequencies that can hit our emotions. And
Um, yeah, on my meter, I use the Electrosmart. In my area, it'll vary depending on your area and what the average level they keep you at. Uh, but in my area, we get 68 and people get moody. If it goes up to 72, they start getting sick. And they don't,
Oh.
the moodiness fades away though. That's the thing. It's interesting. The moodiness fades away, but people start getting sick. So when they're sick, they're more empathetic, and people are more empathetic towards them. Like, that's a possibility. But the anger doesn't seem to sustain past that power level.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'll go through phases. You mentioned like remembering, past things that probably triggered me as a child, and I'll go, why am I thinking that? That's ridiculous. But it does stir up that old emotion. And I have a thought that, people say, well, this is my interpretation of karma. I think when something that we have done and it keeps bothering us and we ride on that, it causes dis-ease, which causes disease, and that is our karma. That's, our situation coming back on us. Now, if they can trigger our emotions, does it dredge up old things to
Yeah,
make us
it's
sick?
even much more insidious than that, because since the 70s they invented something in the 70s called the Lily wave that works in the wiring in your house, and they were capturing our emotional states, recording them and feeding them back to us. Apparently,
Yeah.
okay. Now, today, I've heard rumors that they're doing it via satellite, mapping our brain waves via satellite. And they have increased the mapping capabilities to the point where they may be able to project your thoughts onto a screen,
Whoa.
and analyze your brain to such a degree that they can change individual thoughts. So we're being mapped.
Now that sounds classic. Mind control. When we wonder why these people go ballistic and go shoot up a school or something. I do. I think they're being played with weeks and months ahead of time.
Yeah,
Because some of
they
them are
usually
just
get a they usually get a visit too, about 2 weeks or so before they commit those heinous crimes by one of the three-letter agencies. Now, I know of a tree called the Burundanga tree, and prostitutes use it in South America. And all they do is they put the pollen, and they'll go up to their victim and they'll blow the pollen in their, and within a minute or so, that person will do anything you tell them to. Now, I'm sure that they've discovered on this technology and found some way to it and use it in some way. I'm not
sure.
going to say that they necessarily use it in that situation, but it would kind of seem like something you could easily use for that type of situation, manipulated to work subconsciously over time. You just implant the idea, and over time, the thought progresses,
Keeps running
and
with it.
boom, you create
Whacking 'em
yourself
with it.
a.
Yeah, because I do suspect they put those things like you were describing in aerosols. Just and the person walks through it, and there you go. You're suggestible, and oh man. And if they do
Yeah,
have the technical capability of capturing your triggers, as I call them, they can mold you into anything. And I do think a lot of these people, we wonder why they did what they did, were just manipulated. I think
yeah.
several of them.
A
My
lot of
biggest,
them, if not all of them, are under FBI or CIA investigation
yes,
online because of the rhetoric that they're spewing.
yeah,
You
they
know,
find the candidate.
they are, so they find a candidate quite easily these days, and they just go and work on that one for a little bit. Send a
Sure.
van outside the house to bother them for a while.
And, a classic example is that guy in Colorado. He went through a movie theater but he was dressed up with red hair, like the Joker. He went in there. It was a Batman
yeah?
movie, I think, even. Shot up the
Oh,
place.
wow.
And then 3
Really?
days later, didn't have a clue what he did. He didn't know why he was in jail.
Wow. I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, I forget his name. It happened early teens, I think. Yeah, just look up the red-haired Joker guy ran into a
Wow.
movie theater and shot people, and yeah, and then 3 days later, they said he was in a daze. Like he said, I don't know why I'm sitting in an arraignment. I don't know what I did. Of course, he
Wow.
didn't.
Good to see you. Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. Yeah, you wonder if this is almost exactly what's happening with these people, you know?
Yeah.
Or something very similar, because they can work,
Yeah.
I think they can work your emotions so if they target you. You know, they do a broad spectrum
Yeah,
on
well-
emotions just to agitate the population. But I think they have to do something like they're talking about being sprayed. And they did that. There was an episode I did about that exact thing where they had two African villages. They put up a couple of emitter towers and sprayed them with a purple mist. And they went nuts on each other. You know? But,
Yeah, it could be a concoction of, we don't know what's in these. Yeah, these aerosols. And call me Chicken Little, but I at times I have walked into like grocery stores and felt like I walked through something, you know, and it almost smelled like hairspray. You know, if you ever smelled old woman's hairspray,
yeah.
kind of a floral joke. Yeah. And I'm going, oh my God. And I panic. I'm going, oh, you know, what did I just walk through in my mind, you know? And,
You know, I
they
bet a
very
lot
well-
of people, I don't know, I'm going to ask you this. Do you ever smell like almost like burnt hair?
No,
Does this happen to
no.
anyone in chat? No? I do quite often. And I
Oh,
can meter,
interesting.
and I can tell you it's because of an increase in radiation. It changes the sense of the lining of your nose is incredibly sensitive. And because it's got mucous membranes, they're filled with water, like your eyes will feel it too. And it changes the smell of the area,
Sure.
for me anyways.
Yeah. No, I've known
Scotty says,
people-
I smell like sulfur.
You smell like, well,
Yeah.
that could be a diet problem. You need to look at that.
Could be.
Yeah, because our body
Yeah.
odor will tell us, your body odor will
smells
tell
of-
you if something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, odd smells pop up occasionally. You guys should get the Electrosmart on your phone and see if in the times where the smell changes or change in pressure will often be an indicator of it. It's a correlation with a higher level in radiation. Danny says, "Yep." So
Well,
yeah, I think
On a paranormal level, though, too, if you get odd smells here and there, like you'll smell flowers or you'll smell cigar smoke,
yeah,
things like that, I think it could be a lingering resonance, a lingering vibration, the same, if you're into that.
that or the litter too close. Yes,
Yeah.
keep your nose out of the litter.
Gotta change to kitty litter.
Vodka and cigars, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, your body will tell you if something is wrong. You know, whether your breath, your general body odor and stuff. Yeah, it's a good thing to pay attention to.
Smells and taste. They're gustance? Gustance. I don't know what that word is.
Yeah,
Refine that word.
Gustance.
Clairaudience.
Geist. Like a
Audience,
ghost.
okay. No,
Oh, Claire.
clairaudience.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
Yes. There,
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
the word for it, F Kitty. Yeah, that's
yeah.
what
Some
it is.
people ring in their ears or a high, really high pitched sound. There are a bunch of set of towers over to my right, and if I put my head at the window, I can hear the hum of them. And if I go
Whoa,
to the wall, they'll go away.
that's too close. That's too much too close, Max.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're very close. They're all around me though.
Yeah,
I'm in
everything
southern
here's new.
Ontario, so we're pretty much blanketed now.
Yeah, and the bigger towns actually have the oldest infrastructure. You know,
Yeah,
you get out in these small rural areas, everything has gone underground, pretty much. But yeah, those bigger old cities where you're living in, it's some of the last to change. You know, and you've got these big humming power towers. Whoa.
Dad made a garage using copper strips. Really? That'd be a good, safe place to. Yeah, take a meter in there. Take a EMF meter. You can get them on your phone. They work just fine. And go and see if the level goes down. Almost any EMF meter on the phones work a half decent EMF meter, and you can go around your house and find the areas that are less radiation, and kind of set yourself up in that area. You know,
Yeah.
as a place where you're going to be most of the time.
Yeah, I'm very much away from the Wi-Fi here, but I have other things that'll. I got too much electronics around me or something.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is wired, and it's in a metal case, so there is some signal getting than it would be normally. You can buy cases for it as well that can limit the amount of power coming out of them. So
Yeah, I have one
if you go
here
to, oh yeah,
for my phone. Yeah,
for
it's
your
a
phone,
Faraday
yeah,
cage. Yeah, Faraday too.
yeah, I have several of those, yeah, but you can get them for your router as well, for your wireless router, and they'll limit the amount of energy coming out.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't know the routers took them.
Yeah, if you go to Lamb's clothing, they sell Faraday clothing. In solutions, they have a solutions section where they have other products for sale, and one of them that I saw a long time ago was one of the router covers.
Wow.
Yeah,
I have to look into that. Yeah, because we set our Wi-Fi up away from the bedrooms, and just more in the kitchen area, away from us, basically. But yeah,
yeah, that's good. Yeah. What works nice when mystery headaches work? Yeah, I am able to. I wear that device that I created.
yeah.
That
Here, I've got mine here. I have one of Max's. Let me see.
yeah,
Yes, and it does
yeah. I
work.
wear.
It takes headaches away. I don't know what else to tell you. It
Well,
does.
especially when I'm in front of the computer, like for long periods of time, like I've been here for 2 hours, I would usually get.
Start wearing it. Me too. It's right here. I just
Yeah,
jumped on for a sec here, and it's kind of hard to
yeah.
wear with headphones, but yeah,
It works with glasses. Okay, headphones kind
yeah.
of just push it right in.
And if you wear a hat, I wear it backwards, and it
Yeah,
ties
I've got
right back
really
in.
very small headphones for it, so they just go over my ears only.
Good, good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Wi-Fi signals do usually reach farther. Like
Oh yeah,
50.
I could walk outside
I've
with
seen
them.
50.
Yeah.
I've seen 50, 100 meters, and that's going through walls and everything.
And
You
that's
know,
just yours. How about all your
yeah.
neighbors? We're surrounded.
No, they're not magnets, F Kitty. What it is it's a copper wire attached to the negative pole of a battery, because the negative pole of a battery acts as a ground. So it's
There's the
grounding
negative.
out. I heard of a possible cure or aid with Havana syndrome, which was 2 grounded loops of copper wire over the temple. And that's a way to do it, other than actually connecting a wire to the ground. Any specific? I'm using these 12-volt ones because they're small. But I imagine almost any battery would have some effect.
Sure.
I'll show you them here. They have a type that I'm using.
Yeah, I think they're called, over here in the States, they're called A23 12 volt, I believe is their code. They're not too big. And then you cover up the positive so you don't get zapped, and then tie the negative into touching the copper. And voila.
So 23A, or you were able to get those quite easy, weren't you? So they're 12-volt. And I'll show you because, do you have tape on yours or no? I use tape to hold
Yes,
the
I do.
battery in place.
Oh, that's a
Okay,
good
I'm
idea.
gonna-
Mine was snug. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Mine was very snug.
It's
so I just
it's
put
good to because it flexes. It's good to use the tape because that'll ensure that it's compacted against the wire.
Exactly. Exactly. I taped the battery except the negative, butt of the battery. And
So-
then there you
So
go.
there's the battery. So what I've done is I've wrapped the coil around the battery, make sure that
It fits.
you see that little notch there? That's aimed right at the negative pole. So that's the negative pole of the battery there. That goes in there, making contact with the negative pole there. And then it goes to 2 loops. And a little hook for your ear and just around your head. And then I put a piece of tape on it to make sure that it over it all the way around, so that I make sure that the negative pole is attached. And it just sits over like that. Dropped my. So it's easy to make yourself. The only hard part really is doing the wrapping of the battery part. The rest of it is really easy. You can do that by just using a pair of pliers and holding it down, and then you can wrap it. And you need a pair of needle nose probably to bend the wire properly. But yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, I had headaches because I think here where I live, it has a lot of static, a lot of positive ions. I'm always getting zaps. And I think I was just getting, like, if there is such a thing, a static headache or something. Put this on, swear, 7-10 minutes later, it's gone. So it's tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. We don't ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we're in our houses, we're not grounded at all. So that grounds you out and pulls off. We're usually walking around, like you say, with static.
Yeah.
A large charge of positively charged ions dancing on our skins, and they're beaming them at us at a constant rate. So your body is absorbing all of those positively charged ions. And what happens for, like, a lot of people is it'll cause a headache or toothache or
Yeah, there you
muscle
go.
ache, muscle spasms, because there's so much energy running
Running
through the
in.
muscle.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, like restless leg syndrome. I used to get that, but now I have a copper wire wrapped around the bottom of my bed with a battery, a 9-volt battery, with the
That's
negative pole
interesting.
attached to it, and that
That gave me an idea.
stops it. Yeah, You can also do that to a ground in your wall if the grounds are working. You have to get a ground tester, like one of these, to make sure. None of the grounds in my apartment work at all. None of them. So the only way I can ground is with batteries. I have different ways of doing it. This is one of those 12-volt coiled batteries
Yeah.
on a
Wrist.
bracelet.
There you go.
I even have the done with a 9-volt battery. This is designed to go over the loop of your belt, so you can wear it
Oh,
on
yeah.
your hip.
These
Yeah.
are good ideas. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially here, it's very arid. And when that wind blows, I mean, it's nothing but I'm getting zapped all the time. I put in a water feature that you suggested. It took out a lot, but still the other parts of the house I get zapped.
Yeah,
So,
touching
yeah,
doors and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. Just
yeah. They
so
build up a lot of static.
I'm gonna look at the thing on the bed because that's I go to move a blanket or something on the bed, just static, 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 you know, and it just creeps into me, and I'm shocked. I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, whoa.
Try
Copper
lemon
and
water with
apple
pink
cider.
salt. You drink it, or what?
Yeah, copper into apple cider vinegar. Oh, okay. You have a grounding mat for your bed.
You can
See,
buy
I feel
those.
like
You
I'm
can
all
buy a
behind.
grounding mat for the floor
Where have I
as
been?
well. Yeah,
Wow.
but you have to make sure that the ground in your house works. To
I'll
use the
check it.
grounding mat because that goes into
Yeah.
the socket.
And I should
Yeah.
check it anyway. You should know what
Yeah,
your
these
electricity is
these
doing.
devices are about 12 bucks in Canada.
Yeah,
So you can get them at a hardware store. It's just a ground
sure.
tester. The-
Yep, I'm going to do that. Like I said, when you should know your electricity in your home anyway. And
Mhm.
I haven't even thought about it once we got in here. Wow, egress.
Yeah, you can put a wire out
Yes.
the window to the ground and that'll ground out anything. For dry
Um,
scrubbing your body. Okay.
oh, well, Kitty also says egress windows. Now, that's interesting you said that because in my prior home, the one room in the basement had a huge egress window. It was so calm and it was like the best room in the house. You wanted to go in there, you know? It just had a great vibe to it. Now I'm wondering because we were in the ground, but yet had, opened up to. Anyway, I'm going off. I'm tripping. I had some pot.
So the copper and salt is for a body rub, apparently. That's what I'm getting at.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so coat your skin. Yeah, copper absorbs radiation. So to a certain degree, frequencies can still come through all metals, yes. Depends on if they're grounded out as well. That makes a bigger effect. But I've had people tell me that these, like I wear metal lined shirts, and I've had people tell me those don't work, but I found they do work because I used to get a sick feeling from fall until spring because of the rise in radiation, because of the radiation output. And the sun actually, the radiation from other sources comes through easier in the winter because of the cool air. So I found they made an effect, even ungrounded. So, yeah, I don't believe that at all. My experience tells me different. Or if you just want, you can just wear two, and then the outside one will be isolated. That's another thing that people complain about is that it's not insulated from your body, so it doesn't have an effect. I again disagree with that, but there is ways around that.
Yeah, I'm going to answer Scotty with the egress window. Yes, where I live, if you wanted to count it as an official bedroom, you had to have a window that you could get out of in case of fire. That's why they do it. But I'm just thinking, like I said, an opening into the ground. It just was the best room in the house. Let's see.
Probably have an effect on both sources. Yeah. Again, the only really good way to isolate yourself completely is to be in a metal box that's grounded with no openings on it. And then you can probably be almost completely isolated. I only know one person that's close to that, but the metal box that he lives in still does have windows, so there is still signal and getting in there. So, yeah.
I just
But
want
a
to say
grounded
Happy New Year.
source. Hi, Koji. A
Yeah,
grounded
go.
barrier does work better than an ungrounded barrier, but an ungrounded barrier does work as well. Not as well as a grounded. So do what you can, you know?
Yeah, that's all we're at this point.
Yeah, there's no real perfect solution except for the grounded metal box. So, but you can't live your life in a grounded metal box.
No, no, no. We don't want to live in a box.
No.
We're trying to get out of the box, actually. They're putting us
Yeah.
in here.
I like that idea of the copper, because the salt would decay the copper. I can actually make colloidal copper, where it just disintegrates the penny in about 10 minutes. You just put a small voltage through it, and that'll disintegrate the penny for you. And yeah, you could rub it on that way.
Yeah, me too, Koji. I'm thinking I'm gonna get some
Hi,
copper
Koji.
rods.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
gonna do
idea.
it. I'm gonna do it for the garden, for me, the dogs, if I can figure it out.
Now, I was thinking of trying like a copper pipe filled with crystals.
Oh,
You
like a
know?
wand?
Well, kind of, but you stick it in the ground, right?
Oh. Yeah, well, that's a wand.
Try
That's
it.
that's
Yeah,
wizard's wand going in the ground.
yeah.
That's a cool idea,
I stole
actually.
that from Koji there. I just, oh,
You just gave us an idea.
yeah. I'm having some plants that aren't growing so well, so maybe that'll perk them up. Just get some thin copper tubing and maybe some sand and crystals in it. Or just crystals. I probably got enough crystals to just put crystals in it. No brown paper bags. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see the results of those. Vodka Earth Scrub. Vodka Scrub Earthwork Academy? And what that is. I don't use much alcohol, so.
Max, I'm gonna jump down. I have things I gotta start. Thank you so much for having me up here, and Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too. Happy New Year. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I'll
Enjoyed
be
my talk with
listening
you.
in. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like talking about, I'm probably going to close it down pretty soon. Yeah, I always love talking about radiation and protection. That's one of my, because I really did have problems with that. I've lost teeth because of it. That's what happened to me. They
Oh,
just, my teeth just loosen and fall right out, root and all. There's no, you know, so I finally found what that anyway. So
yeah. Hey,
yeah.
they're doing something to us, and I don't know if we're adapting or we're dying from it. I don't know.
I don't think we're adapting. That's
Yeah, it's one or
you
the
see the
other.
I noticed that one of the things I noticed when I was young, and I related it to radio when I was young, because you look at all these industrialized nations, we had an increase in disease. And I thought, oh, well, maybe we're polluting. But we weren't. What we're doing is we were exporting our pollution to all these poor nations that had incredible lifespans and very little disease. What's
Voila.
happening there?
Now,
You
now in
know,
2024, look
what's the
what's,
only
yeah.
difference? These guys didn't have radio communication. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah. That,
Even figured that
hey,
out. I figured that out when I was 8.
that makes sense. Yeah, we're doing it to ourselves and we're, you know. But anyway, I got to get out of here.
Mm.
Peace,
All right. Have a
everybody.
good day.
Check you out
Enjoy the
again soon,
first of the
Max.
year.
Yep, I'll be
Happy New
listening
Year.
in.
All right. Look at the link. I don't see a link. It didn't. Let me check something here. All right. 2024. I want to check if you're modded. Oh, Koji's not. And my voice is hiccuping. Yeah, okay. That's terrible. Why my audio is so bad there? Hi, high-end path channel. See a join link here. I got another 20 minutes or so. There's a link. Danny took my link. Danny. What's that? Adapt is inapt. Where's an adept? More aquamarines. Aquamen using their brain feces on our thoughts. Maybe my feces will fight back. Hello, welcome to the channel. How you doing?
Hello. I had to close YouTube real quick so it wouldn't echo. So what are we
Oh,
talking about?
there,
I
Koji.
missed a lot of stuff.
Oh, we were all over the place. We had mud fossil research at the beginning because Roger came out with the Red Sea being a vagina. A big,
Oh,
huge vagina. Go-
interesting.
welcome to the welcome to chat, Koji. Good to see you.
Oh, hello. Also,
Seems the subject matter caught you by surprise.
yeah, you called this 2024 question mark. Do you mean like the actual New Year's in the spring type of thing there?
It was just a general. I could have just left the question mark out. I could have put it in. No real purpose to
No.
it.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure he came in to say something, so I'll shut up now.
No, it's okay. I didn't see anybody coming in, and you were here before me, so I don't want to interrupt.
Oh,
No,
no problem.
I'm good. I'm
Keep your mic
good.
on.
Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Max Vision. This is the first time we actually spoken with each other. I think you came over to my channel on my first
We
live,
yeah, I did.
right?
We have spoken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have spoken.
yeah. I think so.
In which channel? You did speak over at my channel. We met briefly, perhaps on
Okay.
chat, but I don't remember ever
Yeah.
speaking to you.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just
Well, pleasure meeting you, sir.
meeting you.
But yeah. So you teach remote viewing, Max Vision?
I do. How do you say your name?
It's not Chiqueta, but you can just call me Notch for
Nachiketa.
short.
Notch. Okay. Okay. Notch is good. Yeah, I teach remote viewing.
Awesome.
It's pretty freestyle. You can do research into preparatory things like meditation and all that, but I just offer the what I do is I do images and destination target at the end. So it's pretty basic, but we go all over the place with the destination target. Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
it's a lot of fun, and I think we're pretty accurate. Our accuracy has gone up over time. There's a lot of people like Trey, many others that have been here years. Trey's been here for 8 years doing it. Scotty Boy for probably 5. Many of you, Danny, about a couple years. She's come by a couple times, you know. So yeah, a lot of
I
fun
just
result out of it too.
wanted, yeah, I just wanted to stop by and say hello and see what's going on over here and what you do. And
Thanks.
I've been reading books and about like I'm into very much about like ESP and um astro travel and such. So one of the books that I recently read was called uh Out of Body Experience, the history and science of astral travel. And
Hmm.
basically, they're talking about like Robert Monroe and Ingo Swann and remote viewing and stuff like
Yeah,
this. It was quite interesting.
yeah, I've done
So,
some research into that in shows, uh, previous shows. I think one of them is highlighted on my homepage, talking about the mechanisms for remote viewing through possibly being exosomes and the crystals they form. And it actually mirrors George Lucas in Star Wars, those midi-chlorines. Um, it's
Yeah.
hilarious how much reality is mirrored by the movies. Um, yeah, and a lot of this information they've determined through their research is held in the magnetic fields of bodies like our planet, us, and it's resonated through magnetic fields in like a self-replicating memory form. So all of the information of the past is inside you as well as outside of you. So
Hmm.
all that information is stored in the magnetic fields.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's kind of like this holographic universe. They talk about it in one of the books that I or the articles is the CIA FOIA document called the Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process. And basically they're talking about how the external reality is more or less a holographic imagery of your internal reality. Like it's like they're mirror of each other. So this idea of like the Akashic record, the Akasha
Hmm.
is Sanskrit for space, right? So that's where information is held.
you said
Yeah. So
state?
even
Excuse me, ma'am?
You said state? Akashic Records is what?
Space.
Space.
Akasha.
Yeah, space. That okay, good. That makes more sense in my head.
okay.
I have I have a question for him. You say you just read some books about astral travel and stuff. Did you come across anything where people had dreams where they were shooting like a rocket far, far away from Earth, or having flying dreams or dreams of floating?
They do talk about it, and they talk about like vivid dreams and this kind of like what was it like when you have control over your dreams. So
Yes, I took control of
um
my dreams as a child. Go ahead.
yeah, so like I think it was because there's so many books I've been reading. I've been almost reading like a book a day about like spirituality and stuff like that. So they do get kind of mixed up. But from if I remember correctly, like there one of the experiences that this one guy had, he had like vivid dreams where he was like premonitioning about a certain event that was going to happen, and in his dream that he had control over, he had created like a triangle on his friend's head, and then in the future, when in real life that he was in the grocery store next to his friend, and at that moment a triangle actually formed on the guy's head,
Oh,
like so it was like a,
Ooh,
yeah, it was a kind of a,
like a
a very
stigmata.
strange thing, but that, yeah, it was stigmata. It was a stigmata type of thing, and he dreamed it, and he created it in the dream, like weeks before it actually had happened. You know.
Wow.
mm,
Neat.
wow. Um, so yeah, I've been controlling my dreams since I was a little child, trying to get back to it now. But even though I don't have a lot of control over my dreams like I used to have as a child, um, the flying and the floating dreams and the one where I was shooting like Rocket Man out into space away from Earth, it occurred to me in that particular dream to look back at Earth. And I was like, no, don't look back, because if you do, then you'll have fear and you'll fall back to Earth. I mean, like, so I did have control over not looking back and just continuing on my way. Now, I don't know where I was going because the phone rang and woke me up, and it was a fake bot call. It's almost like they knew what I was dreaming and they wanted to stop me. But like, if you've read anything about this, I would love your input.
Um. Yeah, like one of the things I read in regards to like Robert Monroe. I don't know if how familiar you guys are with Robert Monroe and the kind of like he was doing a lot of like out of body stuff. He was doing the
Okay.
binaural beat type of research, right?
Okay.
And he was talking about locale 1, locale 2, and locale 3. Are you guys familiar or have ever heard
No,
about this?
No, sir, please share.
I haven't. Yeah, please tell us.
You have. Yeah,
No.
so basically, so like in the book Out of Body Experiences, basically he was talking about like in like at the beginning stages, because Robert Monroe was having like spontaneous out of body experiences, okay? And then he wanted to verify that, like, and then so like they were, when they were doing quote unquote like remote viewing research, they were able to understand that higher than probability that they were getting the numbers correctly, right? Because at the beginning stages they weren't really sure about how to conduct the tests, like like hermetically sealed, and what was the way, like how do you not influence it, blah blah blah. But what they were finding is that it was never really 100%. It's pretty good. And like the Swan experiments they did, like he was more or less getting sense the sayings correct. But the thing that Robert Monroe was talking about locale 1, locale 2, they're like different layers of our dimension that seems to exist, and they seem to
Okay.
be like carbon copies of the actual reality in which we're living in. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so like just to finish this thought, basically what it came down to is that one of the experiences that he had of his friend, like his friend who was a professor, and they moved to a new location, have a new house, and basically they were going to call him and say, "Hey, okay, we're going to, you're going to come to our place and you're going to give us the details about like our house. So, but you don't know where we live and you don't know what our house looks like, and it's your job to give us the details about what you saw." Robert Monroe went there, and he was correct about the layout of the house, the location, but he, in his out of body experience, had a conversation with his friend and his wife, but the wife
Mm.
and the friend never recollect having any conversations with Robert Monroe. So there's a physical reality, and there's another like astral reality that seems to be like a copy of the physical reality, in which Robert Monroe was able to traverse to and have a conversation with the friend and his wife, and in his mind, but everything else was the same, which was kind of strange, and that he called
Yeah.
locale 1.
Okay.
It's just an insight into
Yeah.
what might be happening when we are doing the astral travel and the remote viewing type of
Yeah.
thing, because like there seems to be some correlation to another dimension that is similar to the dimension that we're in.
Yeah, there's other things we do when we're like remote viewing. I call it all basically the same thing when we're even doing different things. Like we when you go into the past, that's different from going into the future, right? You can remote view through somebody's eyes and see what they're seeing. You can go to a location and view the location from above or from a different angle or perception. So there's so many different ways it can be that the ability gets used. Even like remote, what I call remote touching, where we actually interact somehow, either magnetically or electrically with objects. So, yeah, all the names we get are kind of hard to work with because they're so specific, because there are so many different ways that our third eye is used. It's all not one way. So, yeah, that's just something I wanted to bring up. I don't know where astral travel works into that because it could work in several different ways depending on how you interpret what astral travel is.
Okay. So how would you interpret it?
I have a hard time separating it from like one thing from another. That's why I don't really use terms like astral travel because is remote viewing like an image I show, is that astral travel? Or is going to like just an image like that, is that astral travel? Or is going to a place in the past, is that astral travel? Um, what's the division? I don't, you know, it depends on how people
Yeah.
interpret it, and I don't really have a good interpretation for that.
I mean,
I can
it
only
seems to
really
me
describe
very
them as
like
to what we do, as we do it, what we're doing. Like people can view this from behind my head or they could view it through my eyes. That's up to them, you know?
yeah, I mean like the actual mechanics behind it is still seems to be a mystery, but obviously there's something that is happening. And is it like out of body or astral travel, remote viewing, they seems to have overlapping qualities to them that allows people to actually observe a phenomenon that is happening at a distance or behind a hermetically sealed box or in an envelope of some kind, and still have high level of accuracy. And and people are still trying to come up with experiments, I think, to try to remove any other like influencing data, like tampering, like if there are other people also, you have to do like a double blind type of situation, right?
Yeah, I only give you the number. That's all I give you. I show you the image or the destination after you've responded to what you see. So that way it's completely blind. They have I give no input. I don't know if I give any microfacial inputs. I don't know if people would be able to interpret that, but I give no input of any sort, as far as I know, to indicate what we're doing. Like with images, it could be anything, With our destinations, it could be anything. Like we've done past, present, future. We viewed people's mindsets, like what they think like. We've done we've done like a lot on the conflicts going on in the area. In class 111, one of us predicted the second pipeline destruction in the Baltic Sea. So we've had really good success here. I think our class has hit up to 85% like corresponding results, which is really impressive.
Very impressive, yeah.
Most remote viewers, even paid ones, average 50%. And if we beat that by anything, it's amazing.
Yeah,
But like I say,
absolutely. Well,
a lot of these people have been at it for years.
yeah, that's amazing. Like this is first time really. Yeah, I saw you live. I was doing a live myself, and I just wanted to stop by and say hello. And I know you want to wind it down pretty soon, but it was a pleasure meeting everybody, and
You got
hopefully
me talk.
I will.
I'm gonna
You
go
got
sub
me
your
talking
channel.
about remote viewing. Yeah. So I hope we see you in class.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I live in India, and my timing is a
Oh, the
little bit
time
off
zones.
from
Yeah,
everybody
that's going
else.
to be. I do it at 11 p.m.
Mm.
New York time. That'd be. Oh, I don't know. It might be like noon. Are you halfway around the
No,
world,
yeah,
or?
yeah, it's like I think it's about 12 hours from 12 and a half hours. So if you do it 11 p.m., it will be like 11 in the morning for me. That works out generally for
Yeah.
Awesome.
me. Like the actually, like, I usually try to be in bed by this time. I just happen to be up. It's
Oh,
3:30
well, thank you.
a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
No,
Thank
well,
you.
you know,
Thank you.
uh,
Yeah, happen to be up. Yeah. I'm glad you.
yeah.
I'd like to hear
So
more about what you've read. That's awesome. I haven't done
I
much
know.
reading on
yeah,
remote viewing. I discovered it a completely different way. Uh, so, yeah, I'd love to hear what you've read. If you'd like to come up and talk more about that at any time, uh, that'd be
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, just like I do highly recommend people to go check out the gateway, the analysis and assessment of the gateway process. You can download the CIA FOIL document, Freedom of Information
Okay.
Act. They do get into like remote viewing and out of body experience and the quote unquote the science behind it. So, and then I actually talk about that whole art document. It's 30 pages, but it's quite heavy with a lot of information.
Okay.
But I do like go through it and talk about what's going on in there because I've already read it several times and I've done other shows, quote unquote, in regards to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will hopefully do more readings on like remote. I want to get into it because I now like from the theoretical point, I want to get into the actualization point, right? Right when you are going to the point of like actually practicing and confirming the data without just conceptualizing it. And I am doing these the binaural beat CDs like every
Yeah.
day,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm listening in on that and trying to synchronize my hemispheres, and that's supposed to help with the process. So
You,
Oh,
you
that's
can
good to
use
know.
actual actions for that because if you're more, there's tests you can do online to find out if you're more of a right or left hemisphere thinker. And then you can practice artistic or mathematical things to help balance those out.
okay, that's interesting. If you can point me in the right direction, I'm more than happy to check that
Oh,
out. And
that's
because
all I've got on it. I did that. I did that. You go. Your left hemisphere.
yeah, I'm left eye dominant, which means I'm right brain hemisphere. So I'm
Oh,
definitely
okay.
more right brain dominant.
Okay, so that'd be more artistic. So yeah, you're more of the
Me
mathematic,
too.
playing card games, things like that, where numbers are involved, or
I'm
strategies.
pretty decent with numbers. I'm pretty decent with
Okay.
numbers as
Yeah.
well, like yeah, and
Okay.
strategy.
So you may already
I mean,
have a
I'm
well
okay.
balanced brain. Uh, Drinking colloidal gold also helps with balancing the brain, the hemispheres. Um, but you may already have a balanced brain, set of hemispheres. So, but you can check that out if you can type into Google test for right or left hemisphere thinking. There are tests that will come up, and you can try a couple of them, see how they range out, and go from there with the practices I told you about.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you, sir. Max Vision and Integrity. Nice
Pleasure.
to meet you as well. And
I'm gonna sub your channel, dude. I'm gonna mow through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you put that in chat for everyone? I'd love to see your analysis.
Heck yeah.
Paul will get it. You're on mute.
Sorry, I'll just say hello in the chat because I'm not a mod, so I can't share my channel. But you can just click on for the
Okay.
mods. You can just click on my name, and then you can go to my channel.
Yep.
But
Yes,
I
that's what
I
I
will
wanna
say
do.
goodbye, and then hope to see you guys again.
Thank you. It
Alright.
was nice meeting you too,
Peace
sir.
out. Thanks for staying up late.
Bye.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Sleep
You
well
too. Happy New Year.
and Happy New Year. Well, he was awesome, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to mow through his channel.
Yeah. Did you get that? I'm gonna have to go over there.
I
Open
can't
up
do it while I'm
YouTube.
in StreamYard. It'll kick me out.
Okay.
But you're going to
I'll,
end this soon. So I'll
yeah.
go nab him then.
I'll grab them right now and put it in chat. Or one of you guys should be able to do it, but I got it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Scotty
you
Boy
went
did
out
it.
there with a
Thank you, Scotty. See if I'm subbed to him already. Might be. I am subscribed. And I have
You
all the
are?
bells on. Yeah. I already
Wow.
am subscribed. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, you could send me a link to his channel in Google Chat and then go get caught up on everything you may have missed
Yeah.
that I posted in there.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
my husband checked the mail. There wasn't anything there yet. So I'd like to talk to you in Hangouts when you're done. Well, it's Google Chat now,
Okay.
if you have
Hold on.
time.
I'll be making dinner, but yeah. Let's see, where are we there?
I've talked to you while you were making dinner before. So, yep, that'll be fine. Oh,
Right. Okay, guys. Happy New Year to y'all.
and you?
Said to
And
go
thank
through
you.
his vids. Yeah. All right. That's all we've got for today. Until next time, keep your third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Enjoy the new year. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.